Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum,
I'm Sam.
and today we're having a look at Glen Scotia 15.
Alrighty, today the Glen Scotia 15. I have had the 12,
Have you?
and it was nice. You didn't get to try it.
I've never even seen a Glen Scotia.
When was it? It was a while ago. I think that picture of it's on our Instagram or something. I bought it around that time. I think it was in the middle of the last lockdown, but I finished it before you before you came back.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, no. Back then I didn't realize it was a Campbeltown. I've kind of only realized after I bought it today, but pumped because Campbeltown is something that is like, it's an area of Scotland that can be really challenging and unique with the notes. Lots of like kind of really damp, earthy, funky, musty notes, and hospital kind of like disinfectant notes, band-aids, saltiness. It's a weird one. It's not quite Isla, but it's like it's got some Isla notes in there.
Yeah.
But there's not many people making it, and like one of the main ones, or the main one that most people hear of, is called Springbank, and they're goddamn expensive.
It's like 150 bucks a bottle, isn't it?
At least,
it's crazy, yeah.
So like, that's where it starts here in Australia. So it was like, I saw this and I was like, yeah, Campbelltown, we're getting it. 15 years old. It is non-chill filtered, 46% alcohol. Believe it does have a little bit of E150 in it. That seems to be the conclusion everyone's come to, but not a big deal. Basically, here it's meant to be around 110 to 125. Not accidentally, like I deliberately bought it, but I didn't realize how much of a discount I got today. For $76, I think you got it for. So, very
everywhere
happy
I
with
looked
that.
it was 120 plus. So.
Yeah, so very happy with that one. Basically, Glen Scotia is a very popular distillery, starting in around the 1800s. I think it was 1830 something. Springbank is really becoming popular more broadly now. Not Springbank, so I meant to say Campbelltown is, but Springbank is the one that kind of like has springboarded it up into being well known, and Glen Scotia kind of has benefited from that because they're also like just across the island from them. So we'll get into the notes and stuff.
I'm getting like a dirty fruit. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah,
it's like musty almost.
It is like it's been sherry. It's like it's got a sherry cask.
Yeah,
but it's also like it's like the bottom of the barrel was like sitting on wet mulch, and it kind of like came up, the moisture from that kind of soaked into it or something. It's got this earthy, dusty mustiness. It's got like a dusty barn mixed with like some stone fruit.
It's also got like a medical grade cleaner, band-aidy note.
Yeah, it's got those medicinal notes.
Yeah.
It's not super briny though. Like it smells a bit salty, but it's not like Lafroig like seaside brine. It's definitely not that. And there is a little bit of smoke, but again, it's not
like ash. I wouldn't say
an Isla. Yeah, it's not like an Isla peat funk. It's like a bit different. It just opened it basically as well. It hasn't had like much time to like open up, and I've heard that there's a few people say that it does benefit from that, especially on the nose. Ralphie gave it like a mad review of like 92 or something.
Are you talking about my
pretty
dog?
Good. The dog, yes, of course. Yeah, but apparently he doesn't give
very high scores.
High scores like that often. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested in this one. It's thick. It smells rich.
Ooh, it's got a bit of bite on it.
It's got so much bite.
It's 46%. Yeah. You could
56.
say it's like 50. Yeah.
Either way, this has got some definitely more intense notes in it. There's like cracked pepper. There's a lot more of that ash, that dry ash, and there's some decent amount of like funky, dank, like wet. I don't know,
hay
just
almost,
old barn that has. It's like it was raining. There's a couple holes in the tin roof, and a couple hay bales were left out, and the farmer threw them in, and it's been like 12 hours since then. Yeah. This is that weird note, but there's also a bunch of fruit in there as well. It's really nice. Kind of like there's a lot of, I don't know what it is. It's like vanilla, apricot. I don't know.
Almost getting that plum from that weird sherry.
I'm getting like a buttery biscuit now. If I have a really tiny sip. Like not enough for it to like really kind of blow up my palate and stuff. Just a tiny, tiny sip, and like a butteriness.
I mean, yeah, I'm getting more butter than the biscuit, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think it's just because like the musty, funky malt.
It's almost like cream
kind of notes.
when you do that.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I like it though. It's interesting. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of the Bunnahabhain 12, but like
I can't even
the Bunnahabhain from memory had far more dark fruit notes and stuff.
Would you say this is more like a Highland? If you were like to compare it to the generic regions?
So if I like had to put it in a region that wasn't Campbeltown, the closest one.
Because it's got that earthiness, that nuttiness.
I know, it's got way less of that malty cereal funk. It's more like a different earthy, like it's like an earthy wet hay funk. It's not like a bran cereal grainy funk.
Probably the closest though.
Maybe, but I could also see this being like an Isla that's doing things a bit differently.
Like a Bowmore or something like that. That's
a bit less peaty than a Bowmore, but also more. This kind of tastes more complex. Surprisingly, I would have thought that Bowmore would be like a high quality, whatever,
nuts,
just preference,
waxy nuts on the end.
Yeah, so not 2004, 2014. The distillery, Glen Scotia distillery, was purchased by Loch Lomond. So at that same time, you probably saw all of the Loch Lomond bottles change as well, in a kind of similar aesthetic with this like more imprinted glass. I think the Loch Lomond starts thinner and goes out, and it's got like the imprinted stag or whatever the hell the logo was. Yeah, and it's no longer screw cap, it's a cork and stuff. They look much nicer, much less budgety. And they released some more like age statement ones. I believe at the same time Glen Scotia went from doing 14, 16, 18, and I think you told me this, Kurt, they just kind of like condensed it into the 15.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. It's all like 15, then they priced it the 18 range. So
yeah,
go figure.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, if you can import more things that like, if you're at a point where you've got all these different SKUs, but you need to kind of like gain more reach and have more people know about you, it's probably better just pumping into like
one specific product.
Maybe it doesn't make any difference though, because you're still pumping out the same amount of stuff. Yeah. I guess less when it's 18, but more when it... Don't know.
So a single distillery can blend their malts and it's still single malt, yeah? So this is probably just a mix of the 14, 16, 18 to make a 15.
Good point. It might be. Because 15 means at least the youngest whiskey in it has to be
the 16 and 18.
Yeah, but maybe they put some of the 16 and 18 stuff together in there as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It would be interesting, but it tastes developed, but it's also super spiky. It's just weird.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that spike, but it's not as much as you were showing.
Yeah. It might just be me, time of day, whatever. Like, it just totally depends.
But
sometimes
it is there.
Randomly,
you're not gonna
bourbon will hit me. But,
but
yes, this is more than what I was expecting.
Don't jump into it expecting a smooth ride, because
it says rich and smooth, and it's not. I wouldn't say like it's like kicks you around per se, but it's. I wouldn't say it's smooth either.
Yeah. I
haven't had Springbank. I don't know how much of a fight it is. So that, could be true. But if you're coming off the heels of like a Highland or Speyside,
it'll probably throw you around a touch.
Yeah, it will just go, unless it's the same deal as like jumping to Isla. It's going to have a few notes that are just kind of like not present in Highland, Lowland, Speyside. So just prepare for that. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably more kind of accommodating than jumping into Islas.
No,
just because of the smoke and the peat funk is just like a next level. Alrighty, if you like this episode of Everything Whiskey, leave us a like and see future episodes from us. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.